That's Nick.
And that's Joseph. And today we're here to talk about The Pope's Exorcist, which Sony Pictures Releasing is allowing us all to see on April 14th, 2023.
The director?
It's the fourth film directed by Julius Avery, who I'm usually a fan of.
Do I know a Julius movie?
I think we were both fans of Overlord. His debut, 2014, Son of a Gun, with Alicia Vikander and I believe Ewan McGregor, and a very nice use of a song by the Presets. It is worth checking out, and we also reviewed his last feature, Samaritan, starring Sylvester Stallone.
Oh, I recall thinking that one was good.
That was pretty decent too. So this one is taking kind of a notable figure for his realm. A real-life exorcist, Father Gabriele Amorth, who died in 2016. There's a documentary about him directed by William Friedkin called The Devil and Father Amorth. And this person also wrote many books about his travails as a trailblazing exorcist.
Well, this story is taken from the Pope, from this priest's memoir, right?
Yes, a combination of two of them, apparently. An exorcist tells his story, and an exorcist more stories.
Well, the story's very simple, and we've seen it before a million times. So, 1987, Spain, a white American woman and her two children move into a house. Mm-hmm. And it's important to know that the wife is recently widowed, and one of her children, her little son, is effectively mute.
Ripe for possession.
Oh.
Mm-hmm.
So we find out that that house was built atop like a catacomb.
And not a house, it's an actual abbey.
What's an abbey?
Place of worship.
Oh.
Like the Abbey.
So
West Hollywood.
That abbey is built atop, the place they're living is built atop a catacomb that was used to house one of the 200 demons that fell out of heaven with Lucifer.
Yes. In short.
So of course, strange things start happening.
And the Vatican's known about it, and the former powerhouse exorcist that was notable before Gabriele Amorth was locked up down there since the Spanish Inquisition.
Okay, so of course weird things start happening. Primarily it's a little boy who becomes possessed. Mm-hmm. They get the exorcist expert played by Russell Crowe, mm-hmm. who is portraying this real life priest.
Mm-hmm. Who's kind of on the line, his ass is on the line with the 1987 version of the church. He has some cardinals that aren't so hip with him.
So he does some prayers, releases the demon.
With a younger priest, played by, I'm forgetting his name, actually, but...
and all's well that ends well.
Basically, yes.
Okay.
Daniel Zovatto playing Father Esquibel. We saw him he was a much younger man in Don't Breathe.
You didn't care for this movie.
Not at all. The script, I think, is very derivative. It's written by Michael Petroni, who has one gash against his name for that Queen of the Damned adaptation, which is terrible, as well as Evan Spiliotopoulos, who has written several things, but his debut was a movie we reviewed, well, I don't think you saw that either, called The Unholy with Jeffrey Dean Morgan in 2021. Also a very terrible derivative tale about possession.
No, but I do recall the thumbnail for that review, and I recall liking how I looked. But what do you like about this movie?
Not much. I think it looks fine. It's kind of tries to get into this area of grand guignol in the end with some bloodletting, but it's just not enough. Russell Crowe, who I think looks good for Russell Crowe, seems to be having fun.
Because he's doing an Italian accent.
He's actually speaking Italian. Yes, because it opens why he's kind of in trouble with a man named Cardinal Sullivan, played by Ryan O'Grady, who is not a very good actor. A year earlier, he goes to release a demon from a man and put the demon in a pig, and he kills the pig, and blah, 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 blah. And we learned that was supposed to seem hokey because Father Amorth says 99% of the cases that I attend to are faking it, whether it's due to mental illness or they need attention. So I'm just giving them theatrics. But his real boss is just the Pope, played by the great Franco Nero, who doesn't have a lot to do, whose health is kind of ailing. So it seems like Father Amorth, it opens with a quote from him that says he was the chief exorcist for the Vatican from 1986 to 2016. So it's like, we know that there's no tension. I don't even know why you'd tell us that up front. And then the woman playing the mother, Julia, played by Alex Essoe, who played who played the replacement for Shelley Duvall in Doctor Sleep. All of her dialogue is terrible, just terrible. She can't land one of those deliveries with any sort of finesse. And I don't know if it's an ADR issue. It just, it's bad. The kid, her young son, right away we see that the daughter is on the edge of wanting to release her budding sexuality wherever she can, and the younger son is mute. So it's like, yes, they're in for some trouble. And the young boy, Henry, looks like a cross between Mick Jagger and that little boy from the Babadook. But I don't know. The score by Jed Kurzel, it's fine. The voice of the demon I thought was kind of funny because it sounds like Ray Winstone. But I don't know. It just, you've seen it all before. It hits all those beats. And by the time that we get to, because the priests are challenged, because the main motif is that your sins will follow you. They're going to come back to you, much like the sins are actually coming back to the church itself, right? With these fallen angels that are intent on destroying the fabric of the church. And it's just so, but by the time we get to where the two priests are able to conquer the demon, it's just kind of like that lickety split. And I don't know. It's really dull to me.
What would you give it?
I'm trying to think if there's anything. Oh, we should shout out Khalid Mohtaseb, the director of photography. It looks good. He also shot a Naomi Watts film I like called The Wolf Hour and Uncle Frank recently. I don't know, unless you're really into Exorcist films, I just don't understand the point.
So what would you give it?
1.5.
Anything else?
No.
Hit the thanks button, listen to our podcast. Bye.